one guy I talked just before who at the beginning was even too anxious to open the door. And after he built up a relationship and rapport and all that, and engaged a bit with me and within the community, and he was actually he was quite keen to find work, so he was referred to another service to get him employment. And so when I followed him up a few months later, he found work. He was working as a cleaner, and he said he shifted his whole his whole life around just because he started to getting more out of his house, and he started building up more confidence and being around other people. So he was just a complete different person, and what he told me, what made a big difference in his life, was that we actually were there to support him to get out of the house. We didn't give up on him. And the other thing he said, what was important for him, being unjudgmental and going along with him instead of telling him what to do. So that made a big difference for him. In the past, that is what his experience was in the past. He just got told what he should do, but he never did. And so actually going along him on his pace, what he wants to do, made a big difference for him, and it changed his whole life. And he turned into a different person. And the other thing he said is, he used to look into his past, and he was just thinking about how difficult his past was. And I guess the approach is with setting goals, and goals which are important for him to achieve, and not looking back what was a difficulty in his life, but looking forward instead of backwards. That was another thing which made a big difference in his life, and he said he never thought about it in his whole life, that you actually can have goals and you can work towards goals and achieve goals. And that made he just changed his life, and he found work, and he engaged into the community, and he's more confident. My name is Arno, and I work for Richmond and facilitating an activity-based program called the A program, which was established 5 years ago. And back then my boss heard that there's a strong relationship between physical activity and mental health, so she put together a proposal with some of her workmates and applied for funding for an activity-based program. So she forwarded the proposal, and it was approved by the Canterbury District Health Board for an 05 position, and that's how I applied for the position, because in the past I worked with people with intellectual disabilities in Germany, and I thought that I could apply the knowledge I gained in that job in the new role. What I found with the clients I work with, their motivation to change their lifestyle or getting a bit more active is very difficult for them because of extremely low motivation. So, and together with my boss, we thought about what are the options to improve the service and improve motivation for clients. And we thought it would be nice to build the foundation, the theoretical foundation for the program, on which models and theories the program could be, what would be the foundation. And also we would compare results from the beginning with at exit and the follow-up results, and see if there are any changes. So what we found is that there are minor physical changes in terms of losing weight or blood pressure. So that basically stays the same. But what we found with the mental health measures, that there was an increase during the program from the beginning to the end. And at follow-up, it basically dropped almost back down to baseline. Because I wasn't quite sure if the results are really related to the program or it was just coincidence, so I interviewed some clients, and they actually came back with, yeah, after the program they had this slip back into their old behavior. And the key of the improvements were actually the support, the relationship with the support person, the rapport they had, they built up over the period of time, and then suddenly after 3 months it disappeared, so they struggled with having no support anymore. They came up with, that's actually from the clients, they came up with what would help them actually to, to maintain a higher standard of a higher quality of life or higher well-being. And support is just crucial. It's so crucial that it's almost, there needs to be some ongoing support in place. Otherwise, it's very hard for most of them, not all of them, but most of them to maintain this habit. From the client point of view, like, there's just what keeps me motivated is after all this time. It's just the buzz I get out of and see the transformation from people. They're honestly like people who never left their house. And some of them are so anxious at the beginning, they wouldn't even open the door when I knock on the door. So but then seeing them progressing and slowly, by building rapport and building a bit of trust and relationship, they're slowly getting out of the house and you can engage them into the community. It's just a matter of time until they actually improve. And also with backup from the interviews and the data, I know that it will make a difference in their lives. So keep trying until... And sometimes you need to be very patient, but every person is different, so you have to work slightly different with every person.